Welcome to this week's episode of Finding the One. I have a question for you. What determines the way your relationship flows? And as a matter of fact, let's take this question a step further. Does your relationship have its own identity, its own flavor, its own way of being? Or are you just following the mold? Are you just doing what the rest of society, maybe religion, is telling you to do? And as a result, could that be restricting you? That's what we're going to be focused on in this week's episode. We started on it last week, but we didn't actually get to it because we started talking about all kinds of other really wonderful things, which, by the way, I think last week's episode was one of our best so far of season 2. So if you haven't watched it, go check it out. But baby, let's focus in on this notion of there's two of us as individuals. When we're in our highest selves, when we're in love, when we're in our authentic selves, then and only then can we create a relationship that also mirrors that energy and is in its authentic self as well.
I fully had no idea where you were going with this week's episode. And as you started talking, I was like, oh, I know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So.
You want me to keep going?
No. So I feel like this week's episode is more about, once I'm in my unique flavor and you're in yours, the relationship gets to have its own unique flavor, right? And so often we try to pigeonhole ourselves into what we think relationship should be like, right?
That's right.
Or maybe we don't even try. Maybe we just do because
it's
that's
just what everybody else does.
I have the perfect example of this.
Okay.
This happened the other week when we both discovered that freedom for us was like really important in our lives. I know in my human design, I have the hermit, and I know part of yours is that you also like to take time away from people to like be in your own energy. Oh, it's because you're a reflector. It's like Danny needs to be away from people to actually feel himself. Otherwise he can't, right?
That's right. This is very important.
And I remember I was having a conversation with my mom, and I was saying like, yeah, like on a weekend, I really just need he needs time on his own, and I really need time on my own. And she was reflecting to me. She was like, we didn't really have that like when you were kids. We kind of just did everything together. And a part of me felt like, oh shit, is that how I'm meant to be doing it? Like we're meant to be doing everything as a family. And then I thought, yeah, but if I'm in my authenticity, I need a break from like Danny and the kids and for like a couple hours on a weekend. That's just my freaking truth. And your truth is,
I need it a couple of hours every day. No, even no. It's true.
The awkward silence.
No, it's true. It's like, but this is what we're trying to tell you guys is that like we live in a society where it's like, okay, you date, you fall in love, you get married, and then I'm just going to be honest, you're stuck. You're stuck living life the way everyone around you lives life. Yeah. You're stuck living life from your fear paradigm, from your need to control, from your need to, project your fears onto somebody else. And as a result, you are never free to honestly ask yourself, what is it that makes you happy in relationships? Why? Because you keep trying to do it the way your mom and dad did it, the way your uncles and aunts did it, the way the pastor and the preacher say to do it. And you don't ever allow yourself, like, I'm just going to be honest. Like, what do you want with your time, with what you do sexually? Like, what does that look like for you? The only way you will ever be free to ask that of that relationship is if you're free to ask it of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're talking about here. I know for me, this notion, like everything shifted for us when I finally told you, like, I just want to feel free. I want to feel free. And in that freedom, like we're now more connected than ever. But it required me to be my authentic self, to speak my authentic truth, to get out of the mold of what a relationship should look like. And that's what liberated us, I think. What did it feel like for you?
This topic, though, that you're speaking of is really interesting, because what happened for you, Danny, and I'm going to share for you, is, you know, I had that moment where I saw your little boy, right? And I saw how much pressure he had to take on as a little boy. Like, he didn't have the opportunity to be free because your survival depended on getting shit done. And I could see that little boy in you, like constantly feeling like trapped by responsibility, constantly feeling like you needed to run away from responsibility, even if the responsibility like was small, or more to the point, this is the point, is responsibilities that actually you're choosing. But it was so hard for you to see what you were choosing and what was pressure, because everything just felt like pressure. So I would ask you to like run the bath, or can you make the bottle? And there would be this like energetic like pushback, not like actual pushback, but I would feel like this energy of like, because bless your little boy, like he just wants to be fucking free. So anything that feels like pressure is like ick, which once I understood that, I was like, oh, I fucking get it.
Right.
But the reframe, which I feel like was so freaking powerful for you, was, wait, but what am I actually choosing? Because in the last episode, when you shared the moment of where you rolled away and then you rolled back to me, that was the moment that you realized, oh no, wait, like I actually choose this.
Right.
I choose Selena, and I choose Jen, and I choose to be in this relationship. And therefore from that choice, I feel freedom, because everything is what I want.
That's right. That's right. And then we were able to put together like this idea of what our relationship, the way we want it to looked like. Like, for example, I've got these friends, Jack and Yuli. Mm-hmm. And immediately I was like, okay, you know, I know I'm free, but like, am I exercising that freedom? Right. So it's like, I know, like Jack is always going on these cool trips. I want to go on a cool trip. So right away, I was like, boys, I am free to go on as many trips as we want to go on. So let's go. And they were like, yeah, let's go. And it just felt so good to do that, because what I unknowingly was doing is I was providing that for you. I was the kind of guy, correct me if I'm wrong, where I'm always like, baby, go. Whatever you want to do. Do you want to go back home to London? Do you want to go see your family? Whatever you need. But I didn't express that need within myself.
Well, what I actually feel like, I want to choose my words very carefully, so I'm not trying to pick a fight.
Oh boy, here we go.
No, it's like, I feel like you are actually deflecting that freedom onto me, because I wasn't feeling free. It was like, here, you be free. So then maybe I'll feel free. Because if you do what you want, then I can do what I want. But that's not how freedom works.
No, it wasn't even that. It was deeper than that. It was the need to, let me pinpoint it. It was people pleasing is what it was.
Right.
It was like the need to like be on your good side. By, in Spanish you say disque, like by allowing you to be free, and yeah, me projecting onto you my need for you to be accepting of me. That's what it was.
But this is the thing, freedom is an inside job.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Because it's like, whilst you can't provide someone freedom, you have to feel free from the inside. I didn't feel free.
I didn't feel free.
You didn't feel free either. Perfect. It was like the perfect match.
Right.
And I'm not saying that because I'm like, you weren't providing for, you were providing, but you can't provide the feeling of freedom
if you don't feel it yourself.
Well, you quite literally can't. End of. I cannot provide you freedom, because whilst I was like, yeah, but like, I feel like I am saying like, go on the walks, go do the things, go do. but you
I didn't feel it inside.
You didn't feel it
Yeah,
inside.
very fair.
And you're saying like, go do the things with your friends, and I'm like, yeah, but like anytime I ask you to like run the bath, I feel this energetic. So how could I feel free? And it was a mess.
Sure.
Because internally there was so much going on between us where we both didn't feel free in our expression, free in like our choices, free in what we actually desired and wanted, that like it was coming out sideways everywhere.
It was. And then what I would do is I would retreat.
Yeah.
And then you would like
lean in
more. And it was just very interesting.
Yeah.
And but what I want to tell everybody is like the beautiful thing is that we don't experience any of that now.
No.
It's like
it's like gone.
All of it is gone.
It's like, wow.
It's like a brand new life, guys. And this is why we wanted to share this with you guys. It's like, have you allowed yourself to go into yourself to discover what you actually want in relationship? Like actually.
Because two things I want to say. Number one is like, because that becomes like a rabbit hole. It starts to get like really fun, and stop looking at me like that.
Why? I wasn't thinking it, but you're thinking it.
No, you were thinking it.
I swear to God, I wasn't thinking it, but I saw you think it and then project that shit onto me. So now that you're thinking it and projecting it onto me, I might say it.
No.
Okay, then fine.
No, but it does become a rabbit hole because once you break the seal of what do I want, then all these like genuine desires.
You see, she was thinking it.
Start flooding in.
That's right.
You start to actually understand, like, what do I want?
Like, what do I really want? Right.
What makes me feel good?
Right.
What turns me on? All the things.
Yeah. Like if I'm actually gonna live this life, how do I choose to live it?
Yeah.
That's the question you get to ask yourself, not only within yourself, but in relationship with your partner.
Mm-hmm.
That's some good shit. And all of it led to the car.
Wait, but before then, I remember there was a moment when, because you had been retreating and I had been leaning in, like, oh, love me, you know, like
right.
doing that shit.
Right.
I remember a moment where you said to me, like, I really just like, I want to go away and travel, like sometimes with you, but sometimes without you. And I was like, dude, like, so do I. And I remember looking at your face. You were like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, you think I like want to chill with you and Selena and the kids all the time? Like, I'd rather be on a beach in Ibiza, like sipping margaritas. And you were like, would you really?
I was like, I want that for you.
And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
So both of us in this conversation, like, got to express our true desires.
That's it.
And even just the conversation was liberating, you know?
Right. And then it got
naughty.
Yeah. In a good way. But she's not ready for that conversation.
No, I'm not ready. Too much family. Listen
you guys,
to the podcast.
You guys know me. I don't give a shit.
That's because your family don't listen to the podcast.
Even if my family listens to the podcast.
You don't have women in your family.
I don't give a fuck. They're going to like me the way they like me or not. I don't care. Do you want to talk about it?
No. Next, moving on.
Anyhow, the moral of the story is this. Number one, are you living? And by the way, even if you're single, this is important because when you're single, it's like practice. It's like the playground for when you get in relationship. Number one, the most important thing is, are you living as your true, authentic self? Do you live where you want to live? If not, say it. Move. Stop the victim shit. Do you work where you want to work? If not, quit. Go do something else. Do you drive what you want to drive? Do you travel the way that you want to travel? Right? Are you experiencing life the way that you want to experience it? Forget about your partner for a second. If you can't answer those questions for yourself, then I can guarantee you that your relationship with them looks exactly the way the Matrix wants it to look. Because you're afraid. You're afraid to be your authentic truth. So then your relationship, the third entity, the thing between the two of you, is also afraid to be itself. That's some good shit. I think people are having oh fuck moments right now.
Yeah.
I think so. Because that's why everybody sweeps everything under the rug. Because everyone's afraid. Everyone's afraid to open up their heart. Everyone's afraid to share their authentic truth because the fear is, what if they don't like me? What if they leave me? What if I'm alone?
Yeah, because as little boys and little girls, that's what we learn.
That's right.
It's like we learn to be a type of way in order to avoid pain and receive love. And here's the craziness of the whole thing is that if you're not being your authentic self, you're never going to feel fully loved because you're never showing your real you. So how are you ever going to feel like someone actually loves you if you're not showing it?
Right.
You're never actually giving anyone the opportunity to love the real you.
Okay, so I want to do this.
I had more things to say.
Say more things.
Well, what do you want to do?
No. I'm going to take us through an exercise to help them, but say more things.
No, sorry.
No, I want to hear from you. Sorry, that was the Dominican in me interrupting. They're going to have a field day or that one. No, baby, I'm serious.
No, it's what exercise are we going to go through?
Well, what I was going to say is to give them an example. I want each of us to give an example of how we were not in our true authentic self in our previous relationship. Something that we would never be today. How we were showing up in our previous relationship.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I want to give a code at the end of like how you can actually implement this, like a little trick of like how you can implement, like you said, you don't live where you want to live, you don't work where you want to work, and people are thinking like, but dude, that shit pays the bills and like,
right.
So
beautiful.
Okay, go ahead. Where were you not living in your authentic truth? Okay,
so a great example of this was my ex, for example, the shadow was control.
I feel like you just
did I do that really? See, I'm already scared. I don't want to get in trouble. So the shadow was control.
Okay.
So when the shadow is control, you have to control everything to keep you safe, right? And so in arguments, one of the ways in which, or not just in arguments, I went to arguments because everything turned into a fucking argument, but in discussion, just in life, just in human communication, one of the ways that I wasn't in my authentic self was that I was constantly in a state of fear of saying the wrong thing, it being taken the wrong way, and the need to control and overpower to come out. So then I never actually spoke my truth. And a bunch of you are living life like this, by the way. And then as a double whammy, once that overpowering control came out, then I had to choose. My ego and fear in me chose to submit to that and go, you know what? You're right. It's my fault. And I did that for 13 years, even when it wasn't my fault, even when I was just speaking or whatever to avoid conflict, right? I never allowed myself energetically to meet here. That was my wounding. I own that, right? Because ultimately I was afraid of the outcome. I was afraid, like, if I do this, yeah, then I won't be loved. And if I'm not loved, then we'll end up doing this, which is what ended up happening anyways, because of the fact that I wasn't in my authentic self. And I hope you guys see that, like, it's always you. You always see your role. Don't ever, I mean, you can point the finger, but it's just, you're going to point it back to yourself. You always got to ask yourself, how am I showing up in this? Because that's where the lesson can change your life.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you smirking?
No, I'm not.
You're literally smirking on the camera right now.
That was beautiful, babe.
How about you with your ex?
I just want to say, can we see though how Danny's wound and your ex's wound are a perfect match?
Well,
sorry. In that, I'm talking in the past, but yeah, we're a perfect match of Danny not stepping into his truth and his power and using his voice meant that the cycle of submissiveness and people pleasing perpetuated, and it actually allowed the other persons to do the same.
Stay in their wounding.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's how we get stuck in, if you feel like you're in relationship now and you're repeating the same pattern over and over again, That's why I want to really encourage you and empower you to look at yourself, because the only way you can break loops is by you choosing to ascend the loop.
Absolutely.
And from that space, either you don't choose that anymore, or the other person rises with you.
Or they don't, and then it's over.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Or you don't choose that anymore.
And I'm sitting here thinking how beautiful it was. Like, then obviously we broke. And I went all in on my healing journey and my energetic work. And then check this out. I just got this download, baby. That then I attracted, where first I attracted from my wound. Now I'm attracting from my potential. And in order for me to meet myself at my fullest potential, I needed someone who was so matter of fact, who was so candid, who was just always speaking the truth, to show me a model for what it was like to just say the truth. Because if you're ever around Jen, there's like no emotion behind it. She just spits out whatever she fucking thinks. She just says it. She has this unfiltered way of saying it. And so like the wounded little boy in me was like, wait, you mean I could really do that? Like, and you were like, yeah, dummy. Of course you can. Like, how else do you want to live? And it was like a breath of fresh air for me, quite frankly. So thank you for that.
Yeah. I feel like it's only recently where you actually like are starting to say shit like in the moment. It's like much easier for you now.
Yeah.
Right.
What was it like at the beginning?
Terrible.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It's a lot, because also I remember we would get into so many arguments where like my way of thinking and my way of being, which is like part of my wounding and part of just like who I was being, would then make you feel unheard in conversation. Part of that is like the truth, and then part of that is like projection of all you know is like you're not going to be heard, so you already think that you're not going to be heard, so then you attract more of me not hearing you. And I'm like, dude, I literally heard everything you said, but the way I was being was not showing you that.
Right.
So yeah, it's been a lot.
It's all good.
It's been a lot.
Yeah. How about you? One way that you were with your ex where you were not in your authentic self?
The thing that's coming to mind is, so in my authentic self, I'm a very affectionate, loving, touchy, like open being. Like part of my design is like rapture. Like I love like deep connection and rapture. That's like an intense word. But it's true. Like that's what my heart and being really desires. And my ex was highly emotionally unavailable. I feel like that's like a buzzword now. But really like couldn't give any affection, or wasn't open to receiving affection, or couldn't give affection, like really cold in that sense. And it's, instead of like speaking up and being like, dude, this isn't gonna work for me, I just kind of like played along. And I started to become really closed off and really cold and really tough, and like, I don't need it, it's fine, like I'll be fine. Is that a good example?
It's a good example.
I can't really think of anything else.
You're way more feminine now.
Oh my God.
You're way more, way sweeter, way more loving, way more girly, way more. I mean, I go back to when we first met, baby. Like you were like a hot dude. You were
at least I was hot. Honestly.
Yeah, at least she was hot. Yeah, like energetically.
The hot carried me through.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah, like energetically.
Yeah. Well, I feel like only, it was like before I met you, I started on what?
I'm just thinking they don't even know about the vagina stuff.
They don't even know about the vagina stuff.
You guys, some crazy shit is going down. Maybe that's an episode, the vagina stuff.
Well, the pussy, the yoni, yeah, that probably is an episode in and of itself. Yeah, I go back to last week's episode of like, I just used to play it so tough all the time. but inside I was like fucking breaking inside, anxious inside, inside, but on my exterior, so tough. I remember this like profound moment where I was going through my breakup, and my brother and his wife were away, and they let me stay in their house. I was alone in their house, and I was journaling. And I remember this moment where I journaled like, oh my God, I don't have to fight anymore. Like, I can put the sword down. And I literally fucking bawled my eyes out of like, I've been battling for so long, like constantly like ready for a fucking fight.
Yeah.
And just like the notion of like dropping the weapon was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to end with this. I feel like this one we opened ourselves up so much that it's going to bring up a lot of that's what I feel like. I just want to encourage you all to remember, take a deep breath, sit with it, don't blame, take ownership, right? And whatever this episode brought up for you, it's perfect. It's what it was meant to bring up for you. Just remember that no one is causing this in you. It's you. You're the ultimate owner of your life's experience. So before you share it, and when you share it from love. You know, one of the things this made me realize is that right? That's how you learn to take ownership. And then the partner gets to say something along the lines of, well, like, thank you for sharing that. How can I support you in this? And then you get to say, one of the ways in which you can support me is if when this happens, maybe ask me this or be this way or whatever. You see how open that feels? There's none of this. It's just like you want to uncover together whatever it is that you're going through. And that's like when this thing can like, love can really flourish.
Yeah. And the last little nugget that I wanted to share, because when you were, as I said, sharing all those things, like you're not living your authentic self, like you're not being honest with where you live and where you. And one nugget that I've been working on recently is acting to my highest excitement. And it's not necessarily like I drive I don't even know what are not good cars.
A Hyundai?
A Hyundai day. Well, you drive a car that you don't like. You drive a beat up old car. But like your dream car is a Ferrari.
Right.
But like you don't have the means to buy a Ferrari, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's act on your highest excitement with what I have, what I can do, what would be the next most exciting thing that I could do. So I live in an apartment where my neighbors are shit and it's not in a good area. Maybe I could move to a nicer area, but I could be someone's roommate. Right. And that would like be my next highest excitement.
That's right.
Because I think this is where we get very lost in this like manifesting bullshit world, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Is like, just stay fucking excited.
That's right.
Because excitement is just going to attract more excitement.
And happy.
And happy and excited. Not always, but like, if you're acting from a space of like, that makes me feel really excited to
That's
like
it. Follow that.
Stay in my job, but have this side piece where I'm painting and start selling that. That makes me feel really excited. That doesn't feel like pressure. That feels good. Let me act on that. That is like being a game changer for me. And it's something that I really wanted to share with you guys, because we can get very lost in what does it look like to be authentic. Well, just start with that.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting. Like, I want to add to that. Like, we were about to make an offer on a retreat center, this beautiful piece of land with 40 acres, with like these it was just gorgeous,
gorgeous, yeah,
gorgeous, like 10 out of 10. But it just didn't feel right.
Mm-hmm. Well, to me, it felt like pressure,
right? Yeah. And then like today, our realtor, who's wonderful, she messaged us saying, okay, so like, what's the price that would make it feel right? And baby, for the first time in my life, Because I live in so like I can make anything happen world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
You do.
Right. Which is why I make anything happen. But sometimes I make some shit happen that probably shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, no. And so for the first time in my life, like I sat with the question, I was like, literally, baby, even if they gave it to me for free right now, I just don't feel that I want it right now. And that was a game changer. That's what you're saying. Like tap into what you feel and follow what feels wonderful.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
Questions?
Let's do one question. How do you know if you're simply not attracted to someone or if they don't match your ideal type, right? Or if you're sabotaging yourself because you're afraid of love?
Well, what comes up to me is number one, attraction is a feeling and it's a pull. It is literally attracting. Yeah. It's something undeniable. It's something that you can't like, it's very difficult to resist. Yeah. You naturally find yourself thinking about that person, wanting to be around that person, etc. The thing is that once you passed like the initial attraction phase, then you start to get into a place where all of your shadows and all of your woundings start coming up, and you will start to find things wrong about that person if you're trying to self-sabotage, if that's what you're used to doing, which is why are you looking at me like that?
I just keep getting these feelings of joy and it's making me smiley.
Okay, that's good.
And then I feel like I have to not smile because it's going to put you off.
No, but if you're smiling because of that, no, because you're sitting there like this.
Because I'm trying so hard not to put you off.
No, you can't put me off if you're just smiling. Just smile.
Okay.
Yeah. So, which in essence is what we've been showing you over these last 2 episodes is particularly me, how I was trying to self-sabotage, right? How I was unconsciously trying to self-sabotage. The thing I will tell you is that when you have a wound where you're trying to self-sabotage, you guys should put the camera on her right now because she's literally.
I don't know what's happening.
When you have a wound where you try to self-sabotage, what happens with real love, at least I can speak to this, is your heart, your energy. There's a part of you that is like, and it always returns you to the person. Like, even if I wanted to, I couldn't say no. I couldn't not be with you. And that's where you get to work through the self-sabotage and just speak it. Just tell your partner, I got to be honest, like, this is what's coming up for me. And I'm starting to realize if I'm honest, like, it always comes up for me and I don't want it to ruin us. So I felt like I need to share it with you. And, maybe you can help me work through it, or maybe I can just share it with you honestly when it comes up. That's what's coming up for me. I feel like the last 2 episodes have been a big lesson on all of that, as a matter of fact. Like that, at the end of the day, I want to be with you.
You know what comes to mind for me is like all those phrases in that question, like ideal type, how do I know, self-sabotaging, like all of that exists in the mind. And when choosing a partner, it's really important that you're choosing it like from the heart and the body, like the body and the heart and your intuition, your gut, like knows better than your mind ever will, because your mind can make any story feel right or wrong or whatever. So it's like, throw away the checkbox list. This is what happened with us. Like, throw away the checkboxes, throw away the list, throw away the societal norms and what your parents told you, and chuck it all out the fucking bin, in the trash, whatever you guys call it, and close your eyes and like feel in your body and feel like what do I really want? And like, is my body saying yes to this? Like, does this feel like a full body fuck yes? Or does this feel like actually a full body fuck no? And this is what I'm discovering is like, just like get out of the mind. the mind actually blocks you from like the infinite knowledge, wisdom, magic of universal consciousness.
Yeah.
The mind is actually the blocker of all of that. So when we're making decisions based off of like intuition and like consciousness, universal truth, instead of like, what should we do? It's like,
Yeah, it's very apparent.
it's a very apparent, and it's a good practice to start getting into it. Like, do I need to like eat 3 bags of potato chips right now? Like, I'm not even fucking joking. Do I really, this is what I've started doing. Do I really want to like eat that chocolate bar, or once you start asking your body these questions, like, you're going to get clear answers. And it's going to be something different than your mind would concoct a fucking story to tell you otherwise. So yeah, that's my answer.
I love it.
Cool.
Be gentle with yourselves. Be kind to each other. Our show brings up some stuff. It's why you love it. It's why we love it. It's what we're here to do. Just remember, love always wins.
Love is love.
We'll see you next week.